Hey Paul, can you hear me? All right, we're just going to give it another minute to let some more people join us, and then we're going to get started. Cool, perfect, thanks. All right, welcome, welcome. So we're just letting some more people join us, and then we're going to get going. Ooh. All right, cool. So let's get going. So welcome everybody. This is our Uber webinar for Connecticut. It's our intro presentation to get you guys going on the road. Make sure that you're confident out there. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to go through all these slides. Plenty of information. If you can take notes, please take notes. And then at the end, it's going to be a whole Q&A where you can type in to the chat box, which some of you have already done. And I will read those questions out loud and I'll get them answered for you. So first, we just want to take a look at how the app works. So by now you should all be able to sign in. So signing in will bring you to this screen that you can see here. And then the difference is being online or staying offline. And it's up top, it's the blue button that says go online. So once you're online, you're available. So we need you in the car ready to pick up because these customers are going to get ETAs. So once you hit go online, you're online, you're available. And then on the right, step 3, you can see that that's a request coming in. So that's the good screen, that's the money screen. So you like to see that. That means someone's looking for a ride and they're going to pay. So you have a 15-second countdown. That's that outer light blue. To tap on it to answer it, plenty of time. Tap anywhere on the screen to accept, and then that trip's yours. And then you're just navigating to go pick them up and taking them to where they want to be. And moving on, let's talk quickly about the insurance. So we do have you covered out there. So obviously when you're offline, there's no difference other than when you're just driving by yourself. It's your insurance, your coverage. We need to see your name on the insurance policy. It tells us that you can drive that vehicle. But once you go online, even before you've accepted a trip, we do have liability when necessary. We have $50,000 injury, $100,000 total, and $25,000 property. As soon as you've accepted a trip, we bump it up to the $1 million liability coverage. So keep in mind this whole policy is a $1,000 deductible, but God forbid anything catastrophic happens, you pay the first $1,000. Our insurance company, James River, is covering the rest. So we have you covered with insurance. You can always find that at t.uber.com/insurance. All right, so I want to point out your Uber partner dashboard. So this is going to be separate than your app. So you want to keep tabs on your application, but as well as your partner dashboard. You find the dashboard at partners.uber.com. So you can visit this on a computer or a smartphone. But here you can track things such as your payment statements, week by week, day by day, trip by trip, which is great. You can add vehicles here. You can delete vehicles, as well as see any rewards that you can qualify for. So please visit your partners.uber.com. Be familiar with it. You're going to be more successful if you can keep tabs on your partner dashboard. All right, so let's talk a little bit about safety. So you shouldn't feel hesitant to get out there because of safety. We have you covered. So we always give you the control to rate the riders. We want you rating every rider after every trip. So it's a 1 through 5 star rating system. So if they're nice and normal, it's a 5-star. If they ever give you an issue, give them a lower rating. If it's a very concerning issue, you give them a 1-star. This makes you unmatched from them, so you'll never have to pick them up again. As well as you can put in feedback. So we want to hear that feedback because we need to build a report on them. So if they commit this, foul, twice, we're probably going to kick them off the Uber platform. You should also feel more at ease because there's no random pickups. So we're tracking every ride. The riders need accounts, they need valid debit or credit cards, smartphones, and we're tracking every trip. So, if anything, happens, we're going to take care of you. You should feel safe out there. But it's also cashless. So in the sense that you don't need to carry any cash on you, there's no point. If it's all through the app, it's all through their debit or credit card. If they want to tip you, it's going to be a cash tip. So just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm just taking a look at the chat. So good, yeah, everyone see that. And then just hold off your questions to the end, and I'm going to get to a whole Q&A. Let me just get through the presentation. So let's talk about maximizing earnings. So you want to drive in the busy times. You don't want to be out there wasting gas, wasting your own time when it's not, the prime times. So Monday through Wednesday, it's always the morning, the weekday, the morning commutes, right? 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It could be more, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's that morning commute. And then there's that afternoon commute. So it's 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It tends, though, on Thursdays and Fridays. You also have, obviously, the 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., but there's more of a 4 p.m. to 3 a.m. People tend to start the weekends on Thursdays. So those nights, seem to people going out to dinner, people going out to bars, and of course Friday nights, Saturdays. Saturdays, the whole day. Sunday, it's going to be pretty much the whole day as well, just ending a little bit earlier. So people call it a night a little bit earlier on Sundays. But we also want to point out that demand can increase with weather. So rain, snow, cold, these are all things that have people taking Ubers instead of walking, potentially. Also, we're going to send out notices for concerts, sporting events, festivals, things such as that. So we'll keep a lookout for that. That's going to increase demand. And then holidays. Halloween's a big night for us. Obviously, New Year's was huge this year. St. Patty's Day, we got that coming up. So if you're not busy on the holidays, you want to earn some extra cash, great days to be driving. Obviously, the late nights, the rush hours. So just think about the commutes, that rush hour time, and then when the bars get out on those Thursday nights, the Friday nights, the Saturday nights, around 2 a.m. There's always going to be a high demand. So if you want to try it out tonight, it's going to be a good night to earn some extra money. So when there is a very high demand, we apply a surge. So a surge, there has to be more demand coming in than we have drivers in the area. So on the left, you can see that this is what the customer requesting is going to see. They're going to be notified that they're going to have to pay a higher fare than usual. So they have to accept paying that higher fare. So they're not going to come after you and say, oh, I was charged more than I should have been. Nope, we have it on record that they accepted that. And then you'll see it on your screen as color-coded. So from yellow all the way up to red. Red's going to be a higher demand, a higher surge pricing. You can see that this one is a 1.8 X. So we multiply the whole fare by the surge. So this would you'd take your fare and you'd multiply it by 1.8. So try to work those busy times to try to increase your earnings by getting those surge pricings. So let's go into some FAQs. So how long should you wait for a rider? Well, you should wait at least 5 minutes for every rider. They are being notified that you're arriving, so give it some time. You don't have to call, you don't have to text. But if it has been that 5 minutes and they're not showing up, that's the time you want to give a call or give a text. You can just go to that. There'll be a phone icon next to your rider's name, and you can call them, or you could go up to the notepad and message or call. If they don't pick that up, you can do a rider no-show. So you can do a cancel rider no-show. They're going to be charged $5 in that instance. So what if there are multiple stops and the rider changes the destination? So that's completely fine. So they're going to pay for the ride the whole time. So as soon as you start it until you end it, they're paying. They can change the destination as many times as they'd like. You can simply just ask them, all right, is this your final stop? If not, please change your destination to the next one. That's no problem. Just make sure to do not end the trip until everyone's out of the car. So what if a rider makes a mess? So this could be anything from someone spilling a coffee to someone getting sick. But you need a photo. So we need photos. Take photos right away. At least 2 clear photos. We need to assess the mess to see how much we're going to charge the customer. And then you go to your trip history right in your app. It's earnings trip history. And you go to the help. You got to find the trip that it was. Hopefully it was your last one. We want to hear about it ASAP. And you go to I had an issue with the rider, and then request a cleaning fee. So try to do this within 48 hours. They're going to ask for the photos. They're going to ask for a receipt and any details you can share. The more details, the better. And then, like I said, we charge the customer up to $150 depending on the mess. So what if too many people try to get in your car? Just please politely explain that you can only take as many as many passengers as your car has seatbelts. So you don't want to do anything illegal. It's not going to be worth it. UberX is going to be 1 through 4 passengers. Please have that front seat available. If you can do XL, that third row, perfect. But if they come out, 5 plus, and you only have a UberX, they're either you can take 4 of them, or they're going to have to request, an XL, or someone else can request a new one. So that's kind of a good time to give out that promo code if a new user is going to request a ride. So let's just go over quickly the difference between X, XL, Premium, and Premium SUV. So UberX, like I said, that's your typical 4-door vehicle, 2002 or newer, and that can fit 1 through 4 passengers. This is our most requested ride in Connecticut, as well as the country. And then, like I mentioned, if you can fit that 5 plus people, that third row, you can do XL trips. This doesn't guarantee you the XL price every trip. It's just when that XL trip comes in, you're a driver that can answer that request, which pays higher. And then Premium and Premium SUV, it used to be all commercial, but now we offer Premium and SUV service to our highly rated UberX drivers with premium vehicles. So you can find the premium vehicle list at Connecticut, at uber.com/drive/Connecticut to see if your vehicle qualifies. We have a whole list of the premium vehicles. Pay attention to the make, model, and year to see if you qualify. But after 25 trips, if you have a 4.7 or higher rating and a premium vehicle, you'll automatically be eligible to accept premium trips as well. So how do you get paid, and how much can you expect to earn? So the fare for every trip is calculated by Uber. The payments are made direct deposit. So check your account, every Thursday. That's when we direct deposit. But earnings are just going to depend. There's a lot of variables, how much you're working, where you're working. Each ride can be different. So can you have a spouse or another passenger in your vehicle? The answer to that is no. So when a rider requests a trip, their expectation is to fit as many passengers as your vehicle is allowed. Like I said, you got to have that the front seat available. But as well as you're the only one that passed the background check, so having non-customers in your vehicle could compromise your partnership with Uber. So how do taxes work? As partners, you guys are independent contractors. You're going to receive a 1099 miscellaneous form, and you're responsible for filling out and paying your own taxes. We do not provide any tax advice. So where can you drive? Big question. So you can pick up anywhere in the state of Connecticut, New Jersey, Rhode Island, or Massachusetts. You can drop off anywhere, so that's good to keep in mind. But you cannot drive in New York City unless you're a commercial driver with a TLC license and TLC plates. So if you're interested in driving New York, you have to look into that process of getting that TLC. So who pays for tolls? So if you drive through a toll, the Easy Pass toll amount will be automatically charged to the rider. So we suggest having that Easy Pass. You're going to go through the toll. You're going to use it, and then automatically you're reimbursed that Easy Pass price. If you do drop off in any of the 5 boroughs of New York or Long Island, we'll also credit. We'll charge $15 extra to that rider. All right, so let's see. Do I have to log a minimum number of hours? No. So you guys are independent contractors. You're your own boss. You make your own hours. You earn what you like. If you guys want to work 1 hour a week, cool. If you want to work, 60 hours a week, go for it. This is all up to you. And then, so these are your sites. So please take these down. So we talked about partners.uber.com. And so there's also uber.com/drive/Connecticut. That's your Connecticut homepage for Uber. Okay, so now we can do the Q&A. Just put in any questions to this chat. I can see that we have one here, so I'm just going to read this out. Someone's asking, what's the TLC? And that is correct. It's a taxi limousine commission license. So you pay extra for it. They limit the amount of drivers they can have in New York. But just type in any further questions. I'll read them aloud and we'll get them answered for you. I'm also going to put a video in here you can check out. Okay, so a little bit more about the insurance. No, you're completely covered. The only thing is it's just the $1,000 deductible. So the insurance, you don't need anything else. There's nothing that you need to get yourselves. We just need to know that you're on a policy, that you're able to drive the car, and then we have you covered fully with a commercial policy. If you want to look it up, the company is James River. Okay, so is there any way to get permission to drive in other states, like if you're in South Carolina? So with Connecticut account, the 4 states that I mentioned are the states that you're allowed to drive in. If you'd like to drive in South Carolina, we would switch your account to South Carolina, and we would have to run a new background check for you. So keep that in mind. Okay. So Paul, hello, I just started driving for Uber. Is there any way to identify the destination before accepting the trip? Yeah, sometimes you might not want to go as far. Sure. So no, there is not. Unfortunately, we have it set up that way. We can't have our drivers picking and choosing who they pick up. We have to, have a reliable service for every pickup. So when someone puts in a request, they know that they're going to get a pickup within that time. We would just have people canceling all the time. So you'll never know where you're heading until you get to that destination. But get all the information from them before you start the trip. If you can't give it, that's a time you're just going to have to cancel and do not charge them. I'm going to put a video in here as well. You can check out. All right. Is there any liability for us if we pick up an underage kid who's drunk? You picked up any at UConn? There's not. I mean, it's, if anything, you would, the cops would pick them up. There's nothing on you. You're not providing them any alcohol. If they passed out, they would just get picked up in the ambulance. So don't worry about that. But if you don't feel comfortable with giving the ride, that's just another time to try to get all that info and then cancel, do not charge them. Have someone else pick them up and deal with that if you don't feel like dealing with them. your phone battery dies. It could be because you have an iPhone 4. So Mary's asking if why her phone battery dies. I mean, try to keep it plugged in to a phone charger, a car charger. But it is an app. You are using battery. The brightness is on, which drains battery as well the whole time. But yeah, you might want to look into upgrading. See what kind of offers AT&T can give you. They're partnered with us. That's where they're plugged in. Yeah, I mean, it could happen. It's just you're running an app. You're using battery. Okay, so what if a rider passes out in the vehicle or refuses to exit at the destination? Yeah, so if they pass out, you may have to call the cops, call an ambulance. Hopefully their friend could take care of them, but if not, use your best judgment. If they refuse to exit, so don't get, you want to avoid the physical altercations, obviously. But what you could do is, you can hop out of your car, take your keys, and call the cops if they're, refusing to exit your car. That's your property. Yeah. So AT&T has a partnership with us. They offer about up to 20% off, I think, everything. But I would just suggest stopping by an AT&T store and mentioning that you're driving with Uber. So any more questions, please keep putting them in the chat box. I'll get them answered for you. So does Uber have magnetic signs or anything we can get? Currently in Connecticut, we don't give out the signage. We're waiting for an Uber law. So right now we're just avoiding putting signs on the car. You don't need to draw any unwanted attention. Hopefully in the future, we'll be giving them out. Okay, so speaking of the law, is there one regarding airports and Uber in any of the states we run? I mean, you can't pick up anywhere in New York, so please don't, be tricked into picking up anyone in New York City or at the airports in New York. There's no law against, you can't pick up at Logan in Massachusetts, I believe. So that's good to point out. But in Connecticut, you just need to be careful where you park. You just need to be careful where you're parking. We can't pay for any parking tickets at the airport. Just drop off quick or pick up quickly. But no issue there. So can I say the list of states again? Yeah, so you can pick up anywhere in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New Jersey. And you can drop off anywhere. Okay, so can you explain how to do the promo code if 5 kids want to get in my car and I have to say no? Yeah, so you can take as many as you can fit. So you can fit 4. If only one of them has the Uber app and that's why they are all going together, you can give out your promo code to them to download the app. request a ride, that ride will be free to them up to $20, and you'll get $5 automatically. So anytime you give out that promo code to a new rider with Uber, you'll get $5 if they use it a first-time trip. So what should I do if a cop gives me a ticket for ride sharing? You can bring it into one of our Uber offices. It's not illegal to be ride sharing. Like I said, we can't help out with speeding tickets or parking tickets. But if it's simply just, you can't be ride sharing, you just bring it to us. That's, it's very rare. Typically, it would only maybe happen at an airport, but it doesn't. Do we get paid for a no-show rider? Yes, you get your percentage of the $5 we're going to charge them. So what does ride sharing mean? It's what you're doing. That's Uber. Uber is a ride share service, so you give rides, you get paid for it. Who said we can't ride share? No one said you can't ride share. You can ride share in Connecticut. Yeah, I'm sure it can happen in other states. So, every state's different. We're not having any issues in Connecticut. Oh, yeah, no, it's not an issue, Paul. It's completely fine. But right now, that's some of the reasons we're keeping the signs off the vehicles. It's just to avoid some of these complications. So they'll know you're coming to pick them up. You don't need to be flashing the Uber yet. We'd love to be having that advertising. It's just not going to be worth it yet. So yeah, I'll definitely stick around for a little bit longer if you guys want to keep putting in some questions. So if someone wants a ride to a location we can't go to, like if I don't have the time to drive the hours, is it okay to tell them that? It is, but to just keep in mind, if you're online with Uber, we want you to have a significant amount of time to pick up. It's kind of the part of the reason why you're doing this. But yeah, you just have to explain to them, and you'd cancel and do not charge them, and someone else will be happy to come pick them up. So does everyone know about the fuel card? All right, so Paul, good point. So after 100 trips, you can apply for a fuel card. We'll get it sent to you. You can activate it. This is all at partners.uber.com, and it can give you discounts on gas up to at gas stations that accept MasterCard, up to 15 cents off every gallon. But you have to keep in mind, when you do use the fuel card, it comes out of your earnings. So you need to have earnings in your account. You can go negative. But thank you for bringing that up, Paul. Good point. While we're on the subject, there is instant pay options as well once you've done enough trips. So keep tracking that on your dashboard, partners.uber.com as well. So always check out for the rewards that we offer. Explore that site tonight. I used the set destination feature, but last time I read something saying something that made me think we don't get paid for trips. No, you get paid. So setting the destination twice, you can do it twice a day up to 60 miles. You only get trips heading that way. It just means you can't do promotions. You're not going to get paid for promotions. So if a promotion is going on, you can't set the destination because typically promotions are just in a certain area. All right, so Mary, you were about surging. You were at UConn, sitting right in the middle of the surge. Didn't get any ride requests. So typically that's because people are refusing to accept to pay that surge price. So as I showed you, they have to accept to pay a higher price, and not all of them are going to do that. A lot of them are going to try to wait that surge out. So there may not be a lot of that surge coming in because of that. No problem, Mary. Can you have your? You got to talk to people up higher than me to get the hoodies. We're thinking about trying to get some things going with the partners, and we'll let you know. Fair question. So yeah, I'm just going to give it a few more minutes. Any last minute questions, please put it in the chat. I'll get them answered for you. If not, thank you for joining and best of luck out there. Don't be hesitant. The rides are out there. It's going to be a busy weekend. All right, no problem, Mary. Have a good one. Best of luck. All right, so the busy times, one more time. It's going to be, your weekdays. Morning commutes are going to be 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. Your afternoon commutes are going to be 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Evenings tend to always be, there's some action always in the evenings. And then the Thursday nights are very big. Friday nights, Saturdays, Sundays. And then, keep in mind weather and events. That can always cause a little bit more of some demand. No problem, Paul. Any other questions, guys? I'm going to just give it a few more minutes. So when is the West Haven facility open? Are you talking about our office hours? We are in West Haven 11 to 4 Tuesdays typically at the Hampton Inn and Suites right off exit 42. But you can always check out here. That's you can find our schedule there if you want to come see us one-on-one. West Haven, Hartford, Stamford. We actually just opened a nice brand new office in Stamford. I'm there right now. So definitely check out the sites tonight. Get out, do some trips. The trips are out there. It says some Tuesday. Yeah, so that's our schedule tends to change sometimes. Sometimes we do special events. That's why, especially if you're going to travel a little ways, we always want you checking the schedule before you come see us. We don't want to have you show up when we're not there. All right, so any more questions where I'm going to... No problem, Paul. Best of luck out there, all right? Thank you for tuning in. All right, so yeah, everyone just visit those sites. Try a trip out, try it within, the next day or two. Come see us in the office if you need to come see us. We'll sit down with you guys one-on-one. We'll go over any trip issues or, questions you may have. But I just want to thank you for tuning in. And again, best of luck. The trips are out there. The money's out there. So everyone have a great weekend. And thank you again for tuning in.